Big event for me today. I'm hosting my first ever public webinar along with Don Taylor from the Learning and Performance Institute. It's all about building the L&D Department of the future, learning and development. And it's a follow-on from some work I did, a project I led earlier this year, a capability map defining the skills needed by learning and development today and for emerging roles in response to shifts in the world of work. So I've put together speaking notes on all the slides that I'll be speaking on. I'm a bit concerned we've got too much content, so I've tried to tighten those and I need to do another practice. Where's Bella? Oh, there they go. Finally, the rain has broken a little and we're getting out for some exercise. Absolutely essential, otherwise the dog just goes nuts. It's been raining on and off here for 4 days and we've been watching the brook at the back of the house rise. I guess when it's really heavy rains, those walkways would get flooded, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I think there's something that, yes, people will need to learn in this future workplace that we're already living in with all the...
So the webinar is done, it's delivered, and I'm just doing a bit of an edit on the recording so that that can be shared. Just my little setup here. And it went really well. So I knew we were going to be tight on content. We went right up to the wire. We did answer a few questions on the way through, but there were a lot more questions. There was such a good level of interest, 64 participants, and I promised I would pick up the questions from the chat and respond to them in an email. Apart from tightening up the delivery of some parts of the content a little, maybe cutting out some, it was tricky because it felt like everything was needed to tell the story, but I think we could have done the build-up a little bit quicker and gotten to the meat of the tool and how to use it quicker. Technically, I was having some trouble with the slides moving around if I tried to click into the chat box or to check on a participant who'd raised their hand. So Don was co-hosting with me. I'm not sure why. Not sure why I had those technical problems, but I need to do a bit more practice. That was my first time using the Zoom webinar tool as opposed to the Zoom meeting platform. And it was also with 64 participants. It was hard to keep up with the pace of the chat, so I felt particularly kind of constrained not being able to go into the chat without affecting the slide presentation. But anyway, the level of interest was fantastic, and I was going to say, and well deserved, without my ego coming into it. It was an incredible collaborative effort to pull this tool, this capability map together, and I think people can see the value in it. So excited for the next steps. I've already had one query from a learning and development team leader about talking further, but the next step is for me to work with the LPI around the consulting process and my involvement with the consulting engagements to do team assessments using the and I'm running another webinar, a follow-up webinar with Don on the 13th of November, which will look in further detail at the team assessment process and hopefully lead to some teams wanting to engage with us to do the assessment.